Hi, I'm Tracy Johnson. I'm an RN here to talk to you today about disaster preparedness for dialysis patients such as yourself. As you are aware, you require dialysis in order to sustain your life. So what would you do if you were no longer able to get the treatment that you needed? It is very important for our dialysis patients to have the equipment they need because they require technological and electricity and other means in order for them to live healthy and also to continue to live. It has been analyzed that most dialysis patients are not knowledgeable or prepared in case a disaster happens. In our area, we do not have a lot of disasters, but that does not mean that we do not need to be prepared in order to save your life. One of the things I want to go over with you today is a patient preparedness questionnaire. This will help you figure out some of the information as to whether you are prepared for a tragedy, a disaster, or any other interruption in your treatment. It lists things on here like on a scale of 1 to 5, how prepared are you for a disaster? They want to know if your clinic has given you information, and if so, what information have you received? Do you have your disaster kit set up at home? Do you know about the renal 3-day diet? If you had to take yourself off the machine at your dialysis clinic, would you be able to do it? If you had to leave, do you know of a shelter that you could attend, or do you have a friend that you could go to? If you don't have transportation, who would be able to transport you? These are the kind of questions that are on here. That is only some of them, but it's very important that I get you to look at this and to get a feeling of really what would happen if all of a sudden you were no longer accessible to your treatment. It makes you understand that you might not be as prepared as you think you are. One of the main things that I think that is important to gathering for a dialysis patient is having a disaster preparedness kit prepared and ready at your home. This is something that you gather everything together and have it so that you're able to transport it if you're leaving or if you're staying at home. One of the things I have here for you is a dialysis emergency kit checkoff list. This lists several things that you would need to individually check off and put in your supply. Let's go over them. A backpack or a big large duffel bag, or you could use some type of a plastic large container with a lid, something that's going to be able to hold on all the items that you need for this kit. You will need a week's supply of medication, a radio with batteries, a flashlight with batteries, a 3-day emergency supply of food along with the diet plan listed in there. And we will go over that plan in more detail in a minute. You will need a first aid kit, a fire extinguisher, a blanket, your medical contact information, personal information, a copy of your insurance card in case you need to seek medical attention, support team phone numbers such as friends, family, social work, a medical ID, a copy of your driver's license in case you weren't able to get out of your home with your information. Plastic jugs filled with water, that way you will be able to have something to drink and prepare some of the food. A can opener, baby wipes, napkins, all your information on your dialysis, plastic utensils, paper plates and bowls, candles and matches, and a sharp knife. You are able to check off each one of these as you get them. Some of these items we're going to go over in more detail as I finish talking about what you need to do to be prepared. The other thing I want to talk about is getting this kit ready. We think that this is never going to happen, but it does. And we don't get ready for it. And I want you to be prepared. It's very important to me that you gather this kit, and I want to offer my assistance. If I need to go with you and help you gather these items, I would be more than happy to. If I need to set up a reminder for you, because these items need to be reviewed and replaced every 6 months. Medications, food, batteries are not going to last forever, and it's very important that you replace these. So if you would like, you could let me know, and within 6 months I could set a reminder and I could give you a call and visit with you about the importance of going over this, reminding you, and helping you in any way that you might need. The next thing I want to talk about is that you need to know where to go during a disaster. There are two types of disasters that we can look at. There's the kind that you actually have to evacuate. You have to leave your home and go somewhere else. Or there are the kinds of disasters where you stay in your home. You are sheltering in your house. The types of disasters that we have here in the central Texas is going to be a tornado, or if that would cause you to have to leave. Or you might have flooding or a winter alert where you are iced in. These would keep you in your home. So those are the preparedness kit. You would still have everything you needed in your house to take care of it. So if you have a list prepared of where you need to go, that is going to make it much easier for you. When it's time to leave your house in a disaster, it is not the time to start thinking about where you need to go, who will take you, how long does it take, oh wait, do I know exactly where they live? You need to have all this information prepared ahead of time when you're able to think clearly. Ask them, are we able to come here? Be prepared. I have an emergency shelter contact information sheet that I would like for you to fill out. It's another thing I would like for you to place in your kit. If you will list your friends' names, families' names, it's listed with their addresses and their phone numbers. It's also very important to locate shelters and to be able to find a shelter in your area that would be able to accept you. One important thing is if you do go to a shelter, when you arrive, you need to let them know that you are a dialysis patient and that it is very important that you receive the right type of food and possibly medical treatment, depending on what's available. You will not always be able to count on being able to go to an emergency room to seek treatment. Which leads us to the next item that we need to discuss, which I find is very important. If you are unable to go to the emergency room or to a dialysis clinic to start your dialysis, you must start on your 3-day diet. It is very important that you start this if you're not able to receive dialysis. Your body will not be able to get rid of what it needs. The diet that you're going to start is more restricted than your normal diet. The restricted diet, it is needed to control things from building up in your system like potassium, phosphorus, urea, and fluid. All of these can be very life-threatening for a dialysis patient. Also, when you are missing your dialysis treatments, you have to switch your fluid limit to 2 cups or 16 ounces a day, which sounds like very little. But you will be able to do this. One of the items on the list to get is chewing gum. Chewing gum will help you produce saliva and help with your thirst. It helps trick your body. That is very important. I have a list here of what foods and water and drinks that you need to gather for your emergency 3-day diet. This is provided from one of our dialysis centers, and I want you to look at it. You're able to pick up 6 single-serve boxes of cereal, sugar, some cans of fruit. It lists how many, as well as your canned meats and canned vegetables. You're going to get some nut butter and some honey, and some chewing gum is also listed on here as we discussed. You're going to want to get either 6 cans of evaporated milk, or you can get some type of boxed almond or rice milk that you can mix. You will need 2 gallons of drinking water and single-serving juice, such as cranberry, apple, or grape. These are all very important to prepare and gather because this diet could mean life or death for you. The other thing that you need to follow when you are following this diet is, besides the foods to eat, the water to consume, you also need to know that you need to limit your intake of table salt and salt substitutes. You will want to limit and avoid, actually you don't want to just limit, you want to totally avoid any table salt and salt substitutes. Any flavoring with herbal seasonings, garlic powder, and lemon juice. Please stay away from those. They are not healthy for you during this restricted diet time. The next is your meal plan. It is very basic, written out. There are some more out there that you can find that go into great details about each day and the different types of foods you can have for each day. This one's more basic, so that you can just pick a type of cereal for your snack, for your breakfast or your snack. You can get some vanilla wafers, and lunch, you know, it tells you can have some bread. It tells you your dinner, and it lists the things that you can have. It also suggests that when you are taking your medications, you take no more than 1/4 cup of water per day with your pills, or so that you are swallowing those, and then you can get the rest of your liquid intake throughout the day. Also, if you do not have electricity and you open up a can of food or liquid, you're going to need to make sure that you consume that within 4 hours. You do not want to add food contamination onto your medical problems. The last thing I want to talk to you about today is being able to provide a list of everything that you need if you need to seek help somewhere else. We need to have all the emergency contact numbers, your doctor, your dialysis clinic, your family. There is all this information. I have a form here that has your medical history and dialysis treatment that can be filled out and also placed within your kit. It has your information on here. It has a nearest relative. Your insurance information is listed in case that is needed. Your dialysis clinic and the information regarding your dialysis clinic is on here. And those are all very important to fill out. You have to have this information in case you need to seek treatment somewhere else. Another thing that you need to make sure that you have is a list of all your medications. You will want to put on this form the drug that you take, the dose that you take, and the times per day that you take this medication. This is extremely important. And this is important for you to carry at all times. It is nice to have a list of this in your purse or in your wallet because you never know when you might need to seek medical attention. And this helps the nurses and the doctors be able to get you your medications more rapidly. So don't forget, you can use that on an everyday basis. But for your kit, make sure it is listed and it is kept in there so that you have it available. Hopefully also you have your medication, as we talked, in your kit so that you will be able to go a week. But then you have your list that you will be able to get a doctor, hopefully, to help you refill those medications if it is longer than that. Having all these forms in here and filling out, having everything prepared for a disaster is imperative. Your life really does depend on it. I ask that you look over this and consider it. I ask that you let me help you. While we're here today, I would like for you to work on these forms. I would like for you to talk to me about getting with me and preparing your kit and making you completely ready. I want you to be able to survive a disaster if something happens. We never think it's going to happen to us, but we never know what tomorrow brings, and it's very important that you live. I thank you for giving me the time today to go over this information with you. And if you have any questions, please ask. Thank you.